expecting the result of contest or participants to prepare more, how to say, more generally ready to develop or to implement or to piloting. And in the preliminary discussion with a few people from DeFi, SubGov, and it very expectable from the jury to see as the technical, not a general writing contest participant, but let's say technical requirements or technical paper, like requirements to next step to working as the software developer and mathematician who will work with economic model and so on. And as a Pavel Prigolovka asked to increase dramatically the rewards, we do not do it dramatically. We just twice to reward for first 3 places and announce some bonuses for comprehensive economic model and the blockchain explorer a little bit. So we will happy to announce it this night if you will vote for this contest and to spread this in some forums and some Telegram chats of Polkadot and trying to attract people to that. That's it for a while.
Yeah, thank you, Vladimir. Yeah, I would just add that please pay attention that there is an obligatory program on this contest, meaning the architecture of the bridge itself, but also there are some additional stuff for which you can get some extra points. But please do not do just extra points because we will not count them. So you need to make the obligatory program first, and then if you do some extra, so you'll get some additional reward. And
in other words, Vlad, that there are no way to get the main reward if you will do some additional bonuses.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But didn't get the main one. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And pretty the same. Yeah, we have for Ethereum contests. So they just a bit differ a bit in words, but they are pretty the same in the sense. So we invite all the experts and teams who is capable in building the brilliant architecture for such products to participate in this contest. And also, please pay attention that if you feel yourself capable to implement this architecture as well, so there will be the next contest. And if your architecture is selected as the winning one, so we will definitely invite you to participate in the implementation as well for both contests. Okay, so guys, do you have any questions and any discussion on this? Three, two, one. No. Okay, very good. So in this case, I will help to publish both of the contests today. So, and let's make them active today as well. I hope you all of you remember how to do this, but if not, I will drop the instruction in the group. Yeah, so there is a warm-up period until the end of this week for all the contestants to learn about these contests and prepare, and they will start on the Monday. Good. So now let's move to Sergey. Do you have something to say?
Yeah, I think we get good speed for us because we have not a lot of time for create ecosystem. And because in Ethereum, there are a lot of projects and actions are dramatically, and maybe Ethereum 2 will start after one month. We're planning to do it in the start of November. And when Ethereum 2.0 will be start, Ethereum liquidity will starting move from Ethereum 1 to Ethereum 2, and we will have very good period from half of year, maybe 1 year, maybe more. In this period, smart contracts will not work in Ethereum 2.0, in Ethereum 2, and this is best opportunity for us move some DeFi product from Ethereum to us to Ton. Maybe a lot of product. It's our chance.
I agree. Maybe can we at the time onboard some team members of Ethereum?
Yes, and that's a good proposal, in fact, for them to participate from the very beginning.
Yes, I think we will be able to publish about information about this contest. We told with Vladimir Maslykov some days ago about publication about this contest in Forklog. Yeah, I will try do it in CoinDeck. And Vladimir, are you here? Can you repeat please about publication? I forgot in Cointelegraph or another.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So to speak, they're very active in this particular field, and they're interested in everything that's happening in this field. So they will be definitely willing to work with us. But we have to come with some interesting stuff. It shouldn't be like we are promoting ourselves or we are promoting some contests and want to get I don't know, some traffic. We should approach it in a bit more creative way, like we want to build kind of that's exactly a good point. Like we want to build Ethereum 2.0, but already on established and decentralized network. I think this should be the point with which we should approach CoinT, because that would definitely be interesting for them.
Yes, and maybe we can even invite them to participate in some of our discussions.
Yes, yeah, sure. And I think, but we should also have concrete, precise deliverables, like for instance, that we are launching. So we are preparing to launch this contest, or even several contests. We already did the bridges. We will discuss today the contest for the centralized exchange. So we should be kind of course, we should promote this contest because we are interested in attracting as much talented teams as possible. And because I know Sergey and myself, we are doing it via our connections, network connections, but we should also use the PR machine to attract all possible teams from the market by using a good PR and marketing publications in established websites like CoinDesk and Telegraph.
Brilliant. I think that's a very good idea, and we need to put this on our roadmap. And for sure, let's invite them. Let's discuss with them all these points and approach the major teams also through media. I think that's very good opportunity. And as long as PR governance is launched, I think we will need also to attract them to contact with all the other crucial media in this area and ask them for help as well. Why not?
Yeah, I was on the call today. They had an internal call, and I think that Anatoly from 4 o'clock is already leading the process. And yes, and I also discussed this thing that we will need their support with the launch of our contests, and I think they all said fine. And so we definitely will need. They agreed that, and to help us in terms of PR and marketing activities. It's not that we should do it ourselves. We should just give them kind of contests, good content, and they will do the rest.
Good. Okay, so let's now move to the DeX architecture. Vladimir has a good proposal for today's discussion. Vladimir, so the floor is yours. Please move on.
Yes, so the status is that we have an internal discussion in the subgovernance, and I hope that we We'll end it maybe early next week, and we'll publish it on the forum so everyone can come and give their comments. Now we are kind of discussing it inside the sub-governance. And but the major idea is quite simple, that we decided to split the contest into several stages. And the first stage will be the architecture and design stage. So we would be proposing, asking the teams to design an architecture of the centralized exchange of possible decentralized exchange on the FreeTON network, using all the capabilities of smart contracts, of the speed of the network, of different approaches existing on the market. So we're not limiting it only to, for example, liquidity providing approach. Order book based approach is also acceptable. So we are giving as much freedom as possible in terms of design and architecture. But of course, the juries by that time will already have the jury committee and the initial members committee. We will be judging in terms of quality of not just the design and architecture, but also quality in terms of good economy, how the design and architecture solves existing problems of existing Ethereum networks, like impairment loss, like one side liquidity problems, and all other existing problems. Of course, this solution should be non-custodial, because custodial solutions are not probably in how to say it better. It's not ideologically consistent with what FreeTON is promoting in general. So the only thing that we would probably restrict is that it should be a non-custody solution. But in all other aspects, it will be as open as possible. So all solutions are welcome, or all designer and architecture approaches are welcome. And I hope that after the discussion on the forum next week, in a week, we'll publish it on the DeFi sub-governance contest page. And we will also discuss how much time to give. But for now, I think about giving 2 weeks for the teams to submit the proposals to this contest. So I think the end of the contest will be around 20th October or something like that. Yes, good. Questions?
Guys, please say something. Is it okay? Do you agree? Do you disagree?
It sounds okay.
It sounds okay, because we had discussion in our group. We are waiting for publish, and the second step of publishing is attract a lot of team. Yeah, it's the main task for us now, I think, because DeFi team are very hot guys for different blockchain, and we have a lot of competitors who won't get them. So
yeah, the only thing I want to add is that yeah, we take a little bit more time than we originally thought, but I'm also synchronizing this contest with launching. I hope that, like, at least I'm promised by the designs of governance that they are working on their website, and they're gonna launch it maybe next week, maybe in a week. So I hope that by the time we publish the contest into officially on the sub-governance contest page, we would already have the website, and we would already have some PR support from the PR sub-governance group. So we'll have the full support in terms of attracting new teams. That's why I'm also looking at making it in parallel with PR and marketing activities.
Very good. And also, guys, please pay attention. There were some good questions in the DeFi group in Telegram by Ignat. These are some of the major issues that are faced by projects on Ethereum. So probably, as Mitya said, some of them are not relevant for FreeTON, but for others, please also take them into consideration when the contest will be launched. And so keep subscribed to the group because there is a lot of interesting info and discussions in it. Okay, thank
Can
you.
I have some questions to
Sure,
about these
please.
documents? Yes,
course.
this document, DeX design and architecture proposal, it's more like for specification. It's little specification for what will development in the future as DeX exchange.
Yes, it's correct. So we expect, it's a good question because it's written in the proposal, but I will kind of open it up a little bit. The result of the contest should be technical paper, right? But of course, it would be a good thing if this technical paper would include something about the economy as well. So it's something in between technical and white paper.
Yes, because there are described some DeX problems. I saw
yes,
it.
exactly. And that's why we are asking, though we are asking for a technical paper, but of course, if economy, because it's a DeFi project, it should be based on the economy somehow. So we're also, we will appreciate if contestants would include the economy model in this technical paper as well. And but the final idea is to gather as much, it's kind of like a contest brainstorm. So I think it will give on the implementation stage, which will be the next contest after that, when we will be ready to make a contest for implementation. All the teams that would participate in the implementation phase, they would already have this brainstormed kind of community knowledge of possible approaches. And I think it would be beneficial for every team who would be willing to make the implementation.
Absolutely.
Yes,
thank you. Yeah, please go on.
At first, our purpose, this document, try to take more of these proposals, submittals. Yes, I mean, we looks, for example, some teams, some peoples will participate in this proposal and submit 3-5 submission, and we can look and discuss and understand what way will be future, like complex vision, or better to take one big good document. How do you think?
I think that it's like more, I'm not sure that we're gonna come up with the best possible solution, because only the implementation and the next stages would show which idea will survive. It could be easily that a couple ideas will be implemented and supported by the community in parallel. So I don't think that we should kind of try to narrow it to one white paper or choose the best white paper or technical paper on this stage. I think that in the end, probably we'll have a call where we would discuss the best ideas, and maybe we'll make an article about what we have learned as community. And this article, I hope that will become an entrance for the next contest, which will be implementation. And so the teams who would be joining the implementation contest, they will already have some background of good architectures and designs which could be used for them on the implementation stage.
But I would maybe extend the question of Alex. Should we restrict teams on the implementation stage to use the proposed architectures at this contest stage?
Yeah, I think it's a good question because I'm not sure that we should. For now, I would say that I wouldn't restrict on the implementation stage, right? But the idea of this architecture and design contest is that the result of it would be ideas from the community and ourselves that after that, we would analyze these ideas and maybe we will make some restrictions and necessary requirements for the implementation stage, right? For example, the community might say that order-based or order book-based approach is not acceptable because this, and that. And we would look that there is not a single good architecture and design approach using order book. Then after that, we could potentially restrict the implementation stage only to liquidity providing method and automated market makers approach, right? But on this stage, I don't think that it's a good thing to restrict it right now. Though we already inside our sub-governance, we have different opinions. And that's why I think it's good just to leave it as non-restricted as possible. And then after the contest, we decide how we do the implementation stage. That's my idea.
Okay, sounds fair. Sounds fair.
What about we add another option again? I don't know if it's technically viable, but Uniswap is open source. That's how SushiSwap basically copied them one-to-one. How difficult would it be to open a contest of, just take Uniswap?
Yeah, I can comment it because we challenged it in team internally. You cannot copy paste code from Ethereum and run it in Ton because there are because there are a lot of difference between Ethereum and Ton. In our estimation, if you want to move if you want to launch open source Uniswap on Ton, you need about 3 months for free engineers, and this work can doable in
for MVP stage, yeah.
Yes, and it will be doable, and it can work with real money because team who created Uniswap did it during 3 years. And there are a lot of potential problem after migration Uniswap to Ton, and it will set some time and testing. If we will get 10 developers, they will do it during half of year, not in 3 months, because they will have a lot of discussion about how to do anything. So
true. So true.
3 months and 3 people, and Uniswap is one of architecture for DEXs, one of potential architecture. And
I'm just thinking that I don't want to get into a situation where it takes us 3 years to launch.
No, we don't need 3 years. I think 3 months is possible.
We don't have 3 years, guys. Come on.
Let me just jump in with some technical detail that we as developers and as a community, we didn't use to asynchronous nature of Ton, and we can't expect like what are the pros and cons, and how will it how is it different really from synchronous nature, and how different should be architecture and like structure of smart contract systems. So that is from my point of view is the main reason why will it go like last maybe even more than 3 months.
Yeah, but we are saying that in 3 months we expect to have some MVPs that can work with real money. Nobody says it will be as a commercial product already done. So,
yeah, that's totally okay.
Yeah, and another point I also would like to address that saying about the case of SushiSwap and Uniswap, you know, it's always a matter of liquidity. So, and of course, you can use the source code developed during the contest of FreeTON, but in the end, so you will need to provide liquidity for your own fork. And in the end, in the ultimate goal, it will be good for the FreeTON itself, because it will just boost transactions in all the blockchain. And the more projects we have, the better, in fact. Don't you think so? The more liquidity, the more projects, the more attention.
It's our goal.
Absolutely.
One more point, like talking about like attracting liquidity and attracting users, attracting funds, that sometimes and often funds and like users are driven not only by like reasonable reasonable points, but also like driven by hype driven, like, you know, and we
irrational points, yeah,
and
irrational motivation.
yeah, and that is the reason why we should not like totally restrict or recommend some ways to implement one thing or another. But as a community or as a like members of DeFi subgovernance, we may reach some consensus on what we think is a proper way like to move. But we shouldn't restrict, and the most important, we shouldn't like how to do it, like just leave these developers without any reward, without any like, so those who implement some solutions which are like out of the scope maybe, or technically incapable or somehow different from our point of view on tactical strategy, we should also recognize that.
Ivan, sure, I understand you, and in reality, we can't restrict. We can't restrict any protocols, any ideas, and
we can restrict it by community consensus, just reject the submissions or vote like 1 point or 2 points, and like move them out of the reward table. And I think that we like need to accept that there are a lot of points of view, and maybe some liquidity will be attracted by this solution, because like
Ivan, it's great if some team from community will do some solution and run it. I think that and it will be related to DeFi. I think our DeFi subgovernments will be able to provide some token crystals for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say that just we as a governance may think that some architecture after this contest will be better designed, yeah, in the contest, and easier to implement. But still, there are a lot of other technology solutions that can exist, and the market will show in the end. So we'll be happy to see the diversity.
Yes, diversity is okay, but will we actually like fund this or somehow reward them?
Yeah, we will decide this again after the contest for design and architecture is finished.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just wanted to get your thought on that, because like restriction often means like maybe not really reasonable way to go.
No, don't take me wrong. Under restriction, I don't mean that we should directly prohibit participation, the teams with such solutions, but maybe we rather would encourage the solutions in specific architectures that we will probably will believe is better after the design and architecture contest. That's it.
Good, thank you.
Guys, a proposal needs to have a budget, or every participant will send their budget in their submission.
Which contest?
For example, DeX design architecture proposal in our context.
In fact, I think that for this very stage, we will offer a fair budget for this contest. And please take into consideration that the contest draft will be published in the forum first. So, and anyone from the community believing that the budget proposed is not fair can provide his reasons on the forum for a discussion. And if his reasons are very strong, so why not to increase it? But we think that the budget already included is more than fair, so it's okay.
Okay.
We don't have the objective, you know, to just to spend budget. So we are not in a state entity. We have the objective to create good initiatives and good projects. So, and they should be fairly rewarded. That's it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Any other questions, thoughts on DeX contest?
What about maintenance of the kickstarted some solutions? So there will be like initial code, and it should be maintained. And how will we count that?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and it's not only related to DeFi projects. It's related.
Actually the main question for developer experience.
Yes. Personally, I don't have the answer to it now. So probably the answer is yes, but how? So we need to invent the model on how to motivate the support of such source code. But the first thing is that we need to create the source code to be supported.
I think that the model there will be just by evolution, because it is something that's open source. Someone will fork it, create an internal revenue model, and then run with it. Like, you know, they take X amount of the gas of the trade or whatever else. At the end, it has to survive by itself. I mean, the community can't continuously support any of the projects forever.
Yeah. So the best KPI will be like the total like move out from KPI like framework of thinking.
Yes, and in my opinion, we need also to keep in mind the core objective. We need the blood in the system. So we need to, for projects to arrive to use the source code developed during FreeTON contests to host their own initiatives, their own sub projects, and bring money in the system. And if the code developed during the initial contest will be sufficient to appear dozens of different projects who will just improve it on a commercial basis already. So for their own needs, for their own sake, I think that will be a success.
Yeah, that's basically what I wanted to hear, because there were like maybe the same or the near to yours like thoughts from Mitya on that point in developer experience. And maybe actually you, Vladislav, will join like our Friday call just to like share some.
Yeah, why not? Probably. Okay, so we have not so much time left, so let's move on to the last but not least point, the thoughts on stablecoins that were initiated on the last call by Nimrod. Nimrod, so please, the floor is yours.
Thanks. So I don't need to raise the discussion why stablecoins are important, right? Or do I need to touch a few points?
No, we already agreed that they are really needed. Yeah.
Excellent. So as you recall, I was mentioning two options. One is a stable coin that is based on a basket of ERC20 stablecoins, which are staked through the ERC20 to FreeTON network bridges. And the other one is an actual fiat reserve based model. The fiat reserve based model I will discuss first, just because it's a short discussion, because it's much more in the ideation phase. But basically, what I was thinking about is finding a banking partner. Just speaking as the CEO of Simplex, we're a financial institution. We have an EMI license. We are able to hold clients' funds. So technically speaking, this is something that an EMI license is sufficient to do. You don't need to have an actual banking license. You just need a banking partner. Basically, it could be pegged to euro and can be issued whenever there's actually euros in the bank. I just think that it's going to be a much longer process, and it will require quite a lot of work and quite a lot of agreements. And since there's no actual company, but rather a community, it will be much more difficult to create. So I just want you all to think about it as a possibility, as an option. And I would like to dive into the basket model, which I think is something that we can pretty much implement almost immediately, and can be, or at least as soon as the ERC20 to FreeTON bridge is decentralized, which, as far as I understand, is very close by. I have a few discussions with regards to partnerships that are pretty much dependent on the fact that we have a stable coin in TON, and they're very favorable on doing this with FreeTON rather than the other options of stablecoin. So I do think it's something that we should move on very quickly. So basically, the way I see the basket model is that we collect through the bridge. We through a governance committee, a governance vote, we decide what the ratio between USDT, USDC, and DAI, for example, and then we provide whoever is staking, let's say USDT. If you're staking $100 worth of USDT, you are receiving $100 worth of TON USD, but you are also receiving an additional yield of, let's say, 10% per year, as long as you are still staked, as long as you didn't release the USDT. That way, you create a huge traction. Again, it might be all affected because I'm so deep into all the DeFi games, but in order for us to genuinely create attraction for stablecoins to be staked in the platform, I think we should definitely create some form of compensation as yield mechanism, because as a governance, we can decide what would be the yield based on the funds that we're able to release additionally as TON. I think we have the power to bring traction immediately rather than very slowly gain it. Also, something that we can think about is the model in which this APR is declining over time. So, the first 10 million get, 30% per year. The next 10 million are getting 20. The next 10 million are getting 10, and so forth, or something like that. We can check other stable coins and try to extrapolate what was their growth looking like. So maybe we can do something like that. Another couple of thoughts that I had with regards to that is, for example, increase the yield over time for large holders of TON USD. So the more TON USD you hold, you actually earn more. So it's not linear. So for $1,000 in TON USD, you'll earn more than if you had 10 addresses of 100 TON USD, if you understand my meaning. And so for example, you know, Alice is depositing 100 USDT to the bridge, receives 100 ton USD in exchange, and on daily basis another you know, let's say 10% divided by 365 days on daily basis of ton USD, or even ton. We don't even have to do it in ton USD if we want to push the usage of ton itself. So we can provide the yield in ton tokens. Another idea, which again, I know it's a bit of a lot, but we can think of fractional reserve ratio. I know it's a very controversial topic, but you know, based on the fact that banks hold something like 6 or 7% fractional reserve ratio, we can have the community decide if we need to hold indeed 100% or if we want to hold a different percentage. The idea behind that is that after we exhaust the amount of additional tons that we want to distribute as yield, let's say we do 50% fractional reserve, we take the other 50%, again, all in smart contract behind the scenes, 50% of the staked USDT, USDC DAI, whatever is then staked in the name of the ton USD stablecoin is staked in other platforms like Uniswap, and the yield earned there is the yield that's being distributed to the users who are holders of ton USD. That's it for now. If you have questions or you want to discuss, I don't want to do it like a lecture. So.
Yeah, Nimrit, actually, I like your ideas. Most of them I already had as well, so it's very cool that we are more or less on the same page, and I'm sure that a lot of community members also thought in this direction. And it's just the idea that just came to my mind that as with DEX, we could probably launch a contest for the stable coin economy as well. First of all, to put our ideas into this contest, also to kind of gather other ideas people have, and maybe we come up with some solution as a result of this brainstorm, community brainstorm, how we can implement one or maybe two ways of supporting stable coins. Because I agree that fractional reserve, in my opinion, in case, for example, if we have a good governance token distributed among users of DEX and bridges, and as a way of stimulation of DeFi economy, why not? Because when it's decentralized and community just vote for the percentage of fractional reserve, this system would be really stable. I mean, it's a way of injecting liquidity into the system. And by the way, if you look now, none of the existing, at least popular DEXs and platforms does use this mechanic. And this is one of the reasons why I thought that making a contest for DEX is a good idea, because there are so many more mechanics than those that are currently in the trend on DeFi Pulse, for example. Those might be just the mechanics which are good for Ethereum and which work today. But if we look a little bit into the future, we might come with interesting ideas like fractional reserve for stable coins governed by some governance token. That's a cool idea. And my idea is to also to give it to the community, maybe at the current stage as a contest, and let the community come up with interesting ideas like that.
Absolutely agree. So we need to prepare the contest again for first of all for the economy model, but still we should keep some technical aspects in our minds on how we can do this. So probably Nimrod, will you be able to prepare such a contest with specifying all your ideas in it, and let's run it?
Sure. I mean, I'm not sure with regards to our ability as part of the members. Actually, I'm not even sure are we supposed to be jurors? Are we restricted from being jurors? Are we supposed or restricted from submitting contests and winning contests? I'm just not sure.
Yeah, that's pretty the same as in the main governance. So you are entitled to propose the contest as a member of the governance, and you can also participate in this contest as well. But you should restrict from voting. And
Okay.
as for jury, we are now running the contest for jurors, foreign jurors, as you know. So, but until it's finished, there are only 7 of you in the jury formally. But we hope to really dissolve you with community members willing to join the jury. And in this case, to avoid this question of centralization of powers of authorities between the governance and the jury. So in this case, yeah, please feel free to propose a contest, and if you have some good thesis to participate with, for sure, why not? Why not? And
okay.
All the community members, so please also join the contest and propose your ideas. And Newart has cool ones, really, but maybe you have something we haven't even thought about. So, and it will be much better. Who knows? So please.
Yeah, Vlad, can I please ask a question? I'm not really deep in context of DeFi, but thinking about like what Nimrod is saying, that so stablecoin is born as far as I understood by locking some other stablecoins or using some fractional reserve as a collateral, or maybe it's not right term. So what I wanted to ask is, maybe use the opportunity, like the FreeTON architecturally, like formally, allows us to use actual stake on the mainnet as a like we can prove that it exists, and also Ton Crystal is somehow governance token because it allows to vote if being staked. And the question is, can we use mechanics with locking a stake on the mainnet and using it as a reserve, like as a guarantee to emit some additional amount of stable coins?
Yes, Ivan, it's possible, and we discussed about it on the start of DeFi governments, and I told a lot of I told with a lot of people in governments, in main governments about it, and we said decision that good idea do it after some listings. When price of Ton crystals will be more complicated than price in Chatex and FreeTON DC chats, and when we will have liquidity market for Ton crystal, it will be doable. It will be,
so when we will have a picture of
it's also a good thing because I'm putting in my proposal and for contest and the next proposals, I also think it should be included that we encourage the users to use existing FreeTON infrastructure. By that I mean there are already, or at least promised this or next week, to be published deep pool contracts. SMV contract is being tested and as I know, formally verified right now at the moment. So of course, I think that users, even if those contests at this particular stage doesn't support, for instance, decentralized pooling and staking, especially on the architecture and design type of contests, people could use, imagine that, let's take the pool contract and imagine that it supports staking not only for crystal tokens, but also for any type of type 3 token, right? And building on these blocks, it would be much easier. And for the governance for everything. So it's a huge plus if those who apply for contest would use these building blocks for their architectures as well. So everything is possible, I think, on this stage.
Sorry for interruption, but there is another live stream and I need to take the ownership.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah, okay.
So thank you very much for discussion. So we have some issue again with recording, just for me to wrap up. Yeah, I will just shortly repeat what was said in the beginning. So we have a problem with jury contest. So the contract was reset. So all the contestants, please apply again to this contest, and don't forget to publish your submission also on the forum under the topic of jury contest. And so thank you everyone for the discussion. It's very interesting, and for the next time we will create a separate link that will not depend on anyone. Yeah, and we will have as much time as needed.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you and bye.
Have a nice day.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
guys. Goodbye.